Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to look at our second energy drill, which is Hubud. Okay, so the basic mechanics of Hubud are actually pretty easy. Now, what's basically going to happen is he's going to come down with what looks like a chop. It's not necessarily a chop, but that's just how we'll start out for now. So he's going to come down and I'm going to catch it with the arm on the same hand. When I catch it, this other hand is going to come up, I'm going to roll over, check, and then I'm going to come down on him. And it's basically going to flow this way. If you remember it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And at first you could do it sort of wide as you're learning it, and this kind of looks like a chop and it's coming out. But as you get better at it, it becomes tighter and more along these lines. And what's cool about Hubud, what's actually happening is we're recreating a series of reference points. We've already talked a lot about reference points as far as doing traps. The most common one we've done a mall gun trap is doing from that position. In Hubud, we actually have several reference points that are happening. The first one coming down, this is a reference point. This is a reference point that we're very familiar with because we've been doing our traps out of it. This is a reference point, and then it all recreates on the other side for him. So those are the basic mechanics of the drill. Just remember, you're catching his chop, for lack of a better term, you're passing it over, you're checking, and then you're coming down with your own chop. Back and forth, back and forth. And that's the basics of Hubud. Go ahead and work on that. So when we get to the dummy to do Hubud, basically we're just going to work off of one arm for each side. So I'm going to catch it, coming up in between the two arms this way. This hand's going to raise up to the outside. I'm going to check and then I'm going to hit. For what would be my training partner side of it, we're just going to skip that and we'll start over and going this way. And that would be the basic flow of Hubud on the Jong. So any technique can be done out of Hubud. Keeping with our theme, we're going to apply this energy drill on the dummy, and we're going to stick with the traps that we've already done, namely a Pak Sao and a Lop Sao. And we're going to look at doing them from two of the reference points inside Hubud. So let's first do the one that we're most familiar with, which is the outside. So as he comes down, we're flowing in the drill. As I get to here, when I get right to that spot, I'm going to go into a Pak Sao. Of course, I can follow up with any of the combinations that we've covered so far. Right now, we're just going to go back to Hubud and keep flowing. Whenever I get to that first reference point, I'm going to do a Pak Sao and then I'm going to go back. He's going to do it when he feels it right. He's going to do it when he feels it is right. And we just keep flowing. And therein lies a lot of the value of this drill. It's one thing to sit here in this static position and know, okay, I'm going to do a Pak Sao. There's timing involved here. You have to recognize that spot and feel it and know when it's right to apply the trap. It's happening in a very dynamic, flowing fashion. And of course, from that first reference point, just slow it down, as we're going, on this first reference point, we could do the Pak Sao, or when we feel it's right, we can do Lop Sao and pull and punch. We could do the same. But the main thing is we're applying these traps out of that first reference point. And then going back into Hubud and flowing. So that's Pak Sao and Lop Sao off of the reference point that we're familiar with. So for the first sector we're going to work off of, it's going to be on the second beat of Hubud on the dummy. So 1, 2. From this point, this is where we're going to do our traps. We'll do a Pak Sao or Lop Sao. So just doing them randomly out of the flow of the drill. Here's Pak Sao and Lop Sao. position. Okay, we got Pak Sao and Lop Sao off of one of the reference points. Let's go ahead and look at another reference point. Pretty much when we first start up. So we're flying Hubud. We could take the traps from the very first position. So if it was a Pak Sao, I'm going to come in and trap off of the inside. This is also called a Loi Pak Sao. So here, when manual fills it, it catches, and in that way. So now I can do the Pak Sao off of two different places in Hubud. Here, on the inside, or on the outside. And, of course, we can also do Lop Sao. I'm going to catch here, do lop in this way, come back in for other traps. One of the important things I want you to know about doing these traps out of Hubud is that there's timing involved. So in other words, if Hubud is establishing a cadence, and you basically have a beat going, the trap needs to happen on the half beat of Hubud. So let's say this is the actual flow of Hubud, and this is the trap. And this is going along this way. The trap needs to happen in between the beats of Hubud. To illustrate that beat thing, if we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, let's slow it down just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That needs to happen at a faster pace than the normal flow. So apply all of your traps on the half beat flow of Hubud. Okay, we got our two traps down on two different reference points of Hubud. I want to show you two more things. The first thing being how to switch sides. So, we've been doing it out of the right. The right side, meaning basically we're hitting down on our first stroke with our right hand. The way you switch off to the left is I'm going to pass, I'm going to check, and then I'm going to come down and hit with my left, and that puts us on the other side. Of course, we could go through and practice all of our traps out of the left. If we want to get back, I pass, and I'm back onto the right. I want to go back to the left. So all you got to remember is pass 1, pass 2, and hit. And that is how you switch sides out of Hubud. Now, to do the lead switch out of Hubud on the dummy, that's the basic flow. Once I get to the point where I hit, he does the same. The hand can come in, slap, slap, and then I'm going to hit with my left instead of my right. Then I'm going to catch. If I want to switch back, this hand checks, this one hits, and now I'm back on the right side of the butt. second thing we want to be able to do out of Hubud is to flow to our other drill, the Lop Sao Drill. Pretty easy to do. Manual. So as I come down and hit, when I get to this point and I catch him, this will be the very first part we learn. This is his downward chop. I'm going to come over, I'm going to grab, and I'm going to Lop Sao and back fist, and he's going to catch out with a Bong Sao. Then we're going to our Lop Sao Drill. Of course, all of our switches go back. And if I want to get back to Hubud, I Bong Sao that, I come in, now we're on the left side of Hubud. If you get back to the right by doing a pass that way. If I want to get back to the Lop Sao Drill, there we go. And that'll keep you busy for a while. I have 2 traps out of 2 different reference points, the pass switch and the Lop Sao Drill. And as a goal for the future, there are a lot more energy drills you can incorporate into this overall flow and innumerable techniques. This is enough for you to explore for the rest of your life. So go ahead and take this Hubud and see what you can do with it. And finally, to bring it full circle, to flow from Hubud to our Lop Sao Drill and back again. So starting with Hubud, on the first part of the drill where I catch here, I'm basically going to come over, pull and Lop Sao, staying attached to this arm, assuming that my partner did a Bong Sao. When I do a Bong Sao representing his back fist, the switch is still high. I can do a high Lop Sao, Bong Sao. This Bong Sao represents me defending against his back fist, and then I can go again, switch, again defending on this side. I can go ahead and throw that chop here. That takes me back to Hubud. And if I want to get back to Lop Sao Drill, Bong Sao here. All my switches after I block, with the chop, this would put me on the left. And I'm back in the Hubud. Hey guys, thanks a lot for checking out the new video. Get a chance, go check out the website. Always have something new. Now we have t-shirts. So if you get a chance, go take a look.